Hi guys, it's that time again. Which is better, Master of Puppets or Powerslave? And if you like old school metal or just curious, then this is definitely a video for you. And sticking in the theme of old school, I'm gonna leave some links to check out some tracks by MOTORHEAD. Now let's get on with the video. That Master of Puppets by Metallica is without a doubt one of the best metal albums of all time. You should already have heard, worshipped, but just in case you need a bit more convincing, let me just try and be a little more over the top in effusive praise. So basically, nearly every track on this album kicks ass. The closest things to filler on here are probably Leper Messiah and The Thing That Should Not Be, which will be top slots than any other album that was probably influenced by the likes of Dave Mustaine in terms of middle sections and shreds. But it makes up for the floating tempo with sheer crushing heaviness. But here they pale in comparison beside the perfectly crafted thrashing madness of Damage Incorporated and Battery. The Madhouse anthem has to be Welcome Home Sanitarium. It has that driving epic power which is similar to Orion, and those aren't even the best. That honor goes to the legendary title track, which should require no description, and even better, Despicable Heroes, which is just 8.5 minutes of fast-paced dynamic speed thrash in easy contention of one of the greatest songs ever. The rhythm guitars are razor edged enough to skin the unwary listener alive. The lead guitar is just oozing with emotion, and it just sounds brilliant, mixed with just enough shred to keep up the pace. The drums are perfectly done. Every crash, every fill, every tempo change is just where it should be. It doesn't detract from the rest of the music. The bass is just the side of a goddamn lead guitar, and the vocals mix power, melody, and angle all in one to produce one of the best thrash metal performances. Now I'll honestly admit that there are thrash albums that are way more complicated, technical, and more riff heavy. But this right here is just craftsmanship. Metallica takes reasonably simple thrash anyway, and then just messes around with them just enough to keep the music interesting. Things like the double kick breakdown of Leper Messiah, the machine gun pre-solo section of Battery, the post-solo scales in the title track, and the multiple time changes of the closing solo to Sanitarium. What makes this album not just great, but amongst the greatest. I could go on and on, but because the thing about this album is that after listening to it so many times over, I can just still listen to it again and just be like, is this what I'm really listening to? It's just an example of what happens when you combine really good musicianship with really good ideas. It's just a triumph of songwriting. Buy puppets, listen to puppets, bow to puppets. Shifting gears here, we're going to look at Powerslave by Iron Maiden. Now, for the first time ever, Iron Maiden didn't change the lineup between albums, and it could have been a good thing too, because this album was probably one of the best albums in the scene, but also amongst the Iron Maiden discography. It was released in 1984, and little did Iron Maiden know how successful their World Slavery Tour was going to be. Once again, they gained in popularity to the point where it was smart to release a live album. And I think you know which live album I'm referring to. The production is up there with the Number of the Beast album and even their Peace of Mind album. The producer, Martin Birch, really knew his stuff and created a timeless sound on this one. The song Aces High kicks off the album with style. It's an upbeat, very fast track with some excellent dual guitar play and over-the-top vocal delivery from Dickinson. It's probably faster than anything on the Peace of Mind album. It looks like Maiden was out for blood again, and not the fantastic lead guitar solos, it's a piece of perfection. After this superb first song comes the classic 2 Minutes to Midnight. So extremely well written, but it's a bit more slow paced than Ace's High. But it's not, the main riff is one of Iron Maiden's best ever put to track, and probably heavy metal at its best. Very memorable chorus. You're bound to hum it after a couple of listens. Now the song Lost for Words, Big Aura, is an instrumental and their last one ever probably, but the title is slang for Lost for Words. I guess the rest of it makes no sense though, but it may seem that this track is quite a filler. There's not really much going on, but what you realise is that this is one kick-ass track. It's not it's not a song you can easily hum, but you'll appreciate it in the end. And then we have the song Flash of the Blade. Now, comparing it with Aces, it's a fast song with killer riffs and a great chorus. I don't know what went on in the Maiden camp this album, but it just seems they were probably on something, but who knows. The song has somewhat lengthy midsection with instruments which definitely sound great. Dual guitars, harmonies, the works, just great material all around. Now, the song The Duelist has a great chorus, and this song also has a really lengthy instrumental midsection, which is enjoyable. Just sheer class. Adrian and Dave are really great on this album as well, and I'm glad they both joined Iron Maiden at the time. So looking at the song Back in the Village, the second of the two songs based on the TV series The Prisoner, yeah, again it's a fast track. The chorus may be a bit stupid and overly repetitive, but it's still a great song, and the main riff is so fast and wicked, it's unbelievable, and the solo is, with the rest of the songs, incredible to listen to. The album just, at this point, just feels like a roller coaster. And so comes the title track, Powerslave. It's a different song altogether. It's much slower than what has come before, and it's closest of all the tracks to being a ballad, though not that close really. It has an Egyptian feel over it, which doesn't even feel strange considering it's about some pharaoh. Dickinson does a really great job here. As if the vocals weren't enough, the faster middle of the song may be the best interlude ever. It begins slowly with a great solo and then speeds up to reveal a second solo. It's the little part that is the best of the song, perfectly really. Then the song slows down again and another verse chorus with Dickinson comes along with it. It ends perfect. You have to hear it just to appreciate it. And to close the album out, we have the song Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Now it's based on the poem of the same name, and it's probably Maiden's longest song ever. It's 13 minutes and a half of pure bliss. It's almost progressive stuff with different verses and choruses. Plus the middle of the song is completely calm, just some words spoken and excellent bass and guitar work. The best part is the build up to the last third of the song. Just pay attention to the bass. So in summary, this is one of the best albums out there in terms of heavy metal and amongst the Iron Maiden discography. Another honourable mention here in terms of albums is Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, which is also about Iron Maiden. And I wouldn't be surprised if you actually own a physical copy of it. So there you have it, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought was the better album. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.